Hey folks, out on the e-bike again today, just heading into District 1, gonna take the new bridge. Damn, it's hot, it's a scorcher. 36, 37 degrees, humidity through the roof. Summer has certainly arrived in Ho Chi Minh City. So a quick one today, guys. Pros and cons of living in Vietnam. If you're thinking about coming here to live, or you're thinking about coming here on holiday, then I'm going to give you some food for thought. So let's start with the good things, the pros. I'm going to give you a couple of good ones. So, the weather. Vietnam is a tropical country. If you love sunshine, if you love heat, then it's a place that you're going to enjoy living in. If you don't like the heat, and we're talking serious heat, serious humidity, then it's going to be a little bit unpleasant, a bit uncomfortable for you. So if you love the sunshine, guys, you love getting a suntan, you love the beach, and you love just being in the warmth, then yes, Vietnam could definitely be for you. Number two is cost of living, so things are still relatively cheap here. Food is reasonable, eating out is reasonable. Alcohol is very, very cheap. I believe there's zero tax on alcohol in Vietnam, so it's super cheap. If you like a drink, if you like a wine, it's certainly good for that. Housing is a little more expensive than Thailand, in my opinion. And housing costs are creeping up very rapidly here, especially buying to buy. Hello, young man, how are you? Another pro are the friendly people. So on the whole, Vietnamese people are very friendly, very helpful, very curious. Sometimes they might seem a little shy at first, but once they get to know you and they open up, they're a joy to be around. Family is number one in Vietnam, family and friends. And once you make some Vietnamese friends, I'm certain you'll have some friends for life. Obviously, there's some bad apples, not everyone is good. I don't have to tell you that, guys. So, tread carefully. If something seems or someone seems too good to be true, then they probably are. You have to be a little careful if you're a man here and you're looking for dating, looking perhaps to get married and settle down, then yeah, you have to be careful like you would be in any other country. But there are some certain things, some extra things that you need to consider here, and I will do a video very soon about dating, marriage in Vietnam, and give you guys my opinion on that. Another pro about living or traveling in Vietnam is the close proximity to beaches and mountains. So Vietnam's got it all. You've got mountains in the north. You've got some fantastic beaches in the central part of the country, in Da Nang, Nha Trang, Quy Nhơn. So some of my favorite spots. So it's a country of contrasts, and I love that. It's great. It's a little bit more expensive to travel around now, especially flying after COVID, but it's still manageable. I'd recommend if you're coming here on a holiday, don't try to do too much, guys. You know, people book 2-3 week holidays. They try to be in a different city, different town, different place every day of the week. You know, outside of the cities in Vietnam, it's quite a relaxed way of life, and try to go a little bit slower. Enjoy your trip. Take a bit more time to get to know the locals, get to know the town you're in. I wouldn't recommend doing a packed itinerary where you just spend half a day or a day and then you're in buses, planes, traveling around. You don't want that, really, in my opinion. You want to enjoy where you are, not move around too much. Just heading up and over the Two Team High Bridge. This is a new bridge, big investment for the city. Took a little long time coming, but I'm glad it's open. A nice smooth road for me to ride on. So some cons, if you're considering coming here to live or for a holiday, well, of course there are a few. Weather can be a con, guys. If you don't like the heat, if you don't like humidity year round, then it might not be the place for you. Another con is pollution and environmental factors. So air quality is not so great in the cities, especially in Hanoi. It seems to be getting better actually in Saigon, although today is pretty bad. You can't drink the water here. The water's not potable. You need to buy in water to drink. You can wash in it, cook with it maybe, but don't drink it. Another con is the traffic and the busyness. So some people love a busy, bustling city. Some people hate it. So Hanoi and Saigon, Ho Chi Minh City, are both extremely busy, extremely bustling, and have very heavy traffic. And you might come here for a week and hate it, or you might come here for a week and love it. Depends on you. Also, the rules of the road, the driving standard is a little bit lower than what you might be used to, so you have to be very careful on the road. People call me crazy because I ride my bicycle everywhere. But I love the feeling of freedom on a bicycle, and for some reason I feel safer because I'm going a little bit slower. I'm higher up than most other people, as you can see, so it's alright. Hang a left. Another con would be elements of bureaucracy, so difficulty in getting things done quickly. I mentioned this in another video, so it's sometimes difficult to know when you'll get an outcome to a problem or situation solved, so paperwork can be a little tricky, can take time. And things are done in a different way, so you have to bear that in mind. So healthcare is another big one, and I'm going to do a video in the future about healthcare in Vietnam. I'm going to look at international hospitals, insurance, and the local hospitals here, and there is a big difference. There's a huge amount of hospitals all over Vietnam and clinics, so you're never short of access to medical care, but the standards do vary a little bit and may be different from what you're used to. The cost of medical treatment here is still fairly low, or can be very low, or it can be very high depending on what you need and what hospital you go to. The costs vary massively from hospital to hospital, but the quality of the doctors is very similar. So you might find that you go to a local hospital and you pay $10 to see a doctor. That doctor may also work in an international hospital and you would pay $100 to see that doctor there, and it'll be the same doctor. So there's things like that you have to be aware of. And like I said, guys, I will be going over all this in a future video about healthcare to let you know what the situation is and what it's like. So if you're coming to Vietnam and you have any kind of chronic or long-term illnesses or ailments, then check that the medication you require is available here. A lot of medication can be bought over the counter here. You don't need a doctor's prescription, which is both good and bad. But you should be able to find most medications that you would find in Western countries here. Prices may be higher, or they may be lower, depending on if it's a generic or a branded medication. But one thing you won't find here is strong painkillers. So Vietnam is very, very strict on opioids. Any kind of synthetic opioid or strong painkiller, you just won't get it here. And when it comes to painkillers, the best you're going to get is NSAIDs, such as ibuprofen or paracetamol. It really doesn't get that much stronger, guys, unless you're in hospital with something pretty serious. So there's a zero tolerance approach to using strong painkillers here, unless you're going under the knife, having surgery, or suffering from cancer. So some people are quite surprised when they come here and they try to buy something to knock out a strong headache perhaps, and they just can't get it. But that's just the way it is here. Just going past the Independence Palace, District 1. Another pro of living in Vietnam is the relaxed way of living. So it may seem a bit hectic and crazy at first, but under the surface people are quite relaxed, fairly laid back, and take things in their stride. So it can be quite chilled out, especially in the beach towns in the center of Vietnam. And it's good if you like a more relaxed way of living. Another pro of living in Vietnam is it's an exciting place to live. It's changing very rapidly, and the economy is growing very quickly. And the fruits of that growth can be seen all around. So, unlike some countries in the West where things are a bit stagnant, nothing's really going on. In Vietnam, there's a lot of change, a lot of interesting things happening. And if you're a business-minded person, there's a huge amount of business opportunity here. There really is. It's not too difficult to set up a business here. And it's something that I will be talking about in the future. I don't have a business myself, but I know a few people who do. And yeah, it's definitely a possibility and something to think about if you want to set yourself up here long term, and you've got some good skills or good business acumen that you can bring here and use. Another pro of living here is that on the whole people tend to leave you alone. They're not so interested in your business, and you have a feeling of freedom here, which is nice. For example, guys, I'm out on my e-bike today. I built this e-bike. If I were to build an e-bike in the UK, for example, there'd be so many rules and regulations I'd have to adhere to. Maybe I'd have to get some sort of license. Maybe I'd have to tax it. Maybe the police would stop me and fine me $100 because I'm trying to keep myself fit. So what I'm saying is, I'm not anti-safety, but here you are left alone a little bit more. No one's going to bother me riding my electric bike. If anything, people love it. They're curious, they're interested, and they're respectful. At times there will be challenges to your comfort, your levels of comfort living in a Southeast Asian city, of course. The traffic, the noise, the pollution. But too much comfort equals stagnation, no growth. I'm not sure who said that. I think it's important to do something every day that challenges you, even if it's a small thing. Like riding a bike in rush hour traffic. But it's important to keep challenging yourself. And to keep living your life. wherever that may be. So guys, thanks so much for watching and listening. I hope you enjoyed. Please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Plenty more to come. Have a great day. Catch you later.